Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you. Tonight is the 19th of January and we're hyping up the big Raw reunion show. Tonight's going to be a fun one. We got the opening segment basically hyping up everything that was the main event with Brock Lesnar, with Triple H, with John Cena. We get a chance to see if John Cena's friends are going to be able to get their jobs back at the end of the night in the main event. But it was really fun to see in the second, I guess it was the first match tonight, but the second segment of the night was Daniel Bryan's return to Monday Night Raw. First time wrestling on Raw. Of course, they used his return last week on SmackDown to wrestle Kane. It was a match that was an early disqualification, which got blown up into him basically joining the Shield in a six-man, which was fun. We saw Daniel Bryan go through the motions, but he was sort of protected by having two other guys in there with him, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. We saw his singles return. If you go back and think about last year's Royal Rumble, the big deal was Daniel Bryan had joined the Wyatts. He was wearing one of his jumpsuits. He had sort of been hypnotized by Bray Wyatt, led to them having the awesome match where Bray got the win. And a lot of people thought that was match of the year last year, even though it happened really early in the year. A lot of people forgot about it at the end. But if you go back and watch a lot of reviews about the Rumble, people will be raving about Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt. Just sort of got hurt that it was so early on in the year. Bray Wyatt, of course, hitting his sister Abigail for the big win. I can remember him catching Daniel Bryan flying out of the ring, if I remember right, doing one of his toupees. But tonight's action was Bray Wyatt against Daniel Bryan again. This was basically to hype up the match. It's going to be on SmackDown. That is the match that people care about in the end. If Daniel Bryan loses to Kane, he's not going to be able to be a part of the Royal Rumble this year. But the match this time, we saw Daniel Bryan lose on Raw in his Raw debut. Big shocker due to the outside interference by Kane. I don't think this match really means anything. I don't think people are going to be turning on Daniel Bryan, not thinking that he has a real shot to win the Rumble. He's not my pick to win the Rumble. He's who I want to win in my heart. But if I had to put money on the line, I'm going to go and say that WWE's going to screw up and pick Roman Reigns to win the whole deal. But I think this was more than anything just a way to hype up. Daniel Bryan can lose. It's not out of the line that he can't lose on SmackDown. You need to check out SmackDown so they can keep that rating up. They were honestly a little bit sort of surprised that the SmackDown rating on Thursday wasn't a little bit higher than on Friday. I don't think that fault's on Daniel Bryan. I think that's just what people want to watch wrestling on the B show. That's how many people are going to watch it, no matter what it's going to be. But Daniel Bryan versus Kane, the Royal Rumble slot's going to be on the line. Tonight we saw him lose to Bray Wyatt in a real big surprise. We'll go on from here and see what's going to happen with the rest of Monday Night Raw. It's going to be a fun one. DX reunion, NWO reunion. Hopefully they'll do some sort of face-off. New Age Outlaws, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan. Whole list of names to come, and hopefully we get that Kevin Nash Hall of Fame announcement. Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach talking all about Monday Night Raw tonight, January 19th edition of Raw Reunion. When they talked about, bringing Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, and Hulk Hogan in for Monday Night Raw, I thought no way in the world I was going to be watching a repeat of the Monday Night Raw hyping up Night of Champions. I guess that was in the summer of last year. Of course, that was weeks before Night of Champions. This is the go-home show. And basically, this is some of the biggest hype we've got for the Royal Rumble all month. A few weeks ago, I blew my stack basically talking about Monday Night Raw, mentioning Royal Rumble opening in the opening segment of Raw, with Seth Rollins being added in to the match. That show was all about the Authority making their return. And here we are, the go-home show of the Royal Rumble, and they're trying to cram as much. Hey, don't forget about the Rumble. Don't forget about the Rumble on Sunday. This is one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year, and here you are wasting three of the legends of WWE past. Trying to hype up and get people all ready for this. They talk about, should John Cena be putting his championship line at the championship shop at the Royal Rumble on the line tonight on Monday Night Raw in the main event, trying to get Ziggler, Rowan, and Ryback their jobs back. Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan actually agreed on the fact that Cena should put it on the line. Both of these guys know that Cena is the figurehead of the company. He needs to be the guy that's putting his neck out on the line for everybody, and he is the legend that could get it done. Ric Flair was at his best, basically saying that no, Cena shouldn't do it. Forget about those three guys. They're sitting at home. They're not on Monday Night Raw trying to help him out at all. He's got to go out there and try and win that 16th championship. Putting him right up there with Ric Flair as one of the best champions of all time in wrestling history. And from there, they go to picking Royal Rumble winners. Way out of left field, you had Shawn Michaels picking Bray Wyatt. Hulk Hogan taking the safe bet, picking Daniel Bryan, and then another weird pick was Ric Flair picking Dean Ambrose, a guy that I don't think has any shot to win the Rumble. Michaels is a guy that honestly should be picking Daniel Bryan, with him being a guy that went to the Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy way back in the day. And I'm really surprised that Hulk didn't think that Roman could get it done. From there, out of the back came Big Show coming down to the ring, basically saying that the three legends were jealous of him, and that's why they're not picking him to win it. Look at the size of him. He is an actual giant. These guys are jealous of the fact that he's still around, main eventing these big shows, and they're being called back to do basically nothing on Monday Night Raw. They're living his shadow, and from there, the best part of the night was Ric Flair getting all fired up, standing up to Big Show, hitting him with chops to the chest and punches, and Big Show no-selling them all before just delivering a knockout punch, knocking out Ric Flair, laying there in the middle of the ring. Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan looking intimidated before Roman Reigns came out to make the save, sending Big Show running to the back. If you don't think that Roman Reigns is winning the Royal Rumble after this, you're fucking crazy. People out there trying to make up rumors that it's a coin flip if they're going to pick Daniel Bryan or Roman Reigns. This segment was to get Roman Reigns over, as people know this is the guy who's going to win it. When this guy comes out at the Rumble, you better be cheering your ass off, because this is the guy that's going to be going home tonight winning at WrestleMania. This was the best sort of Hulk Hogan segment that they could do for Roman, coming out to save these legends that couldn't fight their own fight tonight. But awesome of Flair to be standing up the Big Show. Going to be one of the segments that I remember for a long time in my best of Ric Flair file. Man, oh man, this is definition 101, how not to get a tag team over. I have no idea what the WWE is doing with the Ascension. Honestly, you can tell that this is a tag team coming up from NXT. Triple H, for years, going back to probably 2012, has been saying that it is his job, basically, to get the Ascension over. Well, not really to get the Ascension over, he's been saying that it's up to him to save the tag team wrestling in the WWE. You can tell that WWE has had tag team wrestling on the back burner. I can remember 2005, 2006. One of the reasons why I flipped over and started watching TNA was just they had the Voodoo Kid Mafia, they had Team 3D, they had LAX. They had a few X Division tag teams. They had Motor City Machine Guns. Tag team wrestling was really going on over there, and that's one of the reasons why I flipped the channel and went over there. There's been lots of talk about trying to save this tag team division. You can really tell with teams like the New Age Outlaws, being the tag team champions last year. I knew that it was a big deal, playing up, with Triple H and Stephanie the Authority, basically having their guys from DX basically ruling the rooster of the tag division. They weren't really helping them or being involved, but it was just one of those things in your back pocket that always break out when complaining about them. But it was really cool. We got to see the NWO make an entrance and come down to the ring with Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and X-Pac. Scott Hall got to do his a little NWO survey. Who came here to see the Raw reunion? Who came here to see the NWO? That always gets a big pop from everybody. X-Pac out there, wearing all the WWE shop apparel with the NWO sweatshirt and the NWO sweatpants. No doubt in my mind he'll be hawking those things on eBay sooner than later. Kevin Nash being out there, but this was the wrong set of guys to have out there to start trying to get the Ascension over. Scott Hall and Kevin Nash basically trying to play it up like they're still the outsiders from WCW. The Ascension is cutting a promo on these guys, basically saying that they're going to kick their ass. And basically Kevin Nash is holding his hands up like a puppy dog, basically like, oh, please don't beat me up. And Scott Hall's doing the thing with his fingers, basically showing off the fact that he's not scared of them. These guys did not get over tonight. If you want them to be, the you suck, getting those kind of a chance, and not kind of like the fear of a tag team coming out, like, I can't wait till somebody kicks their ass. These basically are just basically nothing. If these guys come out They might beat a jobber tag team on main event tomorrow, if that's even available to watch in the United States. Maybe they'll come through and maybe they'll be able to show it on demand. They won't be able to show it on the live stream. But these they've been beating jobber teams. They haven't even beat like the Matadors or Goldust and Stardust. They've just been, sitting there on the roster cutting promos, basically saying that they're better than Legion of Doom, better than anybody else that's ever been a tag team. I don't know. I'm glad that these guys got their ass kicked. This beating is one of the beatings that you give somebody like to send them back to NXT. Like basically when DX beat up the cheerleader gimmicks. And he basically stuffed them in a trunk and basically said, send back to FCW. And then, it was a long time before we ever saw those guys again. Of course, Dolph Ziggler was stuffed in one of those trunks. But, the one guy that was on the Spirit Squad, damn, he was like a main eventer for them. I can't remember which one it was. Well, it wasn't Nikki. Maybe it was Kenny. Oh, yeah, because he became Kenny Dykstra because his favorite baseball player was Lenny Dykstra. But Kenny Dykstra was really supposed to be something. I know that he came out and tried to get something going for him, having a feud with John Cena over the internet. How'd that work out for you? Didn't work out for you at all. He tried to go on that reality show. He didn't win that deal. But, man... What could have been. I mean, that guy was main eventing house shows against Triple H in the main event, and now he's probably sitting on his couch watching Monday Night Raw like you or me. But the Ascension basically comes out there, cuts a promo in the NWO. They completely disrespect him. When it looks like they're about to fight, JBL gets up from the announce desk, and he starts cutting a promo in the Ascension, basically saying that they shouldn't be, coming out and calling out the NWO. They should be... they should be in the back lacing up their boots or something like that. And from there, Ron Simmons comes down, and when it looks like, all hell is broken loose, the New Age Outlaws come down to join the party. These guys are the guys that actually bring the fight to the Ascension, stomping down on these guys, beating them up before you see JBL hitting a clothesline from hell. The Ascension honestly should be boxed up. I know that it was announced during Raw that we were going to see the New Age Outlaws versus the Ascension at the Royal Rumble. I know you got to fill up the mid-card, setting up the main events, but... this isn't a match I want to see. Even if the Ascension beats the New Age Outlaws, the New Age Outlaws are sort of looked at, even though they were champions last year, as sort of yesterday's news. This is not a win that matters. They should be beating up on teams like the Matadors, Goldust and Stardust, the New Day, teams like this. This is bad heat. This is just you suck heat. Like, you change the channel. Maybe even you can call it X-Pac heat. This sucked. I mean, all in all, I was glad to see APA, glad to see the NWO, pop for the Outlaws just a little bit, but this was supposed to get the Ascension over, and it did not do its job. This was just bad. Monday Night Raw ended in all-out greatness. This was one of those awesome segments where you really know that WWE really knows what they're doing these days, and it's sometimes we have to sit through some crap. But we got to see the return of Sting. I know we haven't seen this guy since Survivor Series. He's been hanging in the weeds. He's sort of been, they call him the, what the fuck do they call him? He's not the icon anymore. He's like the outside guy. But, I'm pumped. I'm fucking stacked. I thought that he was going to be a part of the Royal Rumble, but instead they pull him off, bring him on the Raw reunion show. John Cena, of course, putting his title shot on the line in a 3-on-1 match as the main event of Monday Night Raw tonight, with John Cena going up against Seth Rollins, Kane, and the Big Show. The all-out 3-on-1 affair of all three guys kicking Cena's ass, and how is Cena going to be able to pull this off? Because we all know that Cena's going to be a part of the Rumble. Partway through the match, we see Sting up on the Jumbotron, and JBL's trying to make us think that it's not really Sting, it's just a picture of Sting, and why would they put this here? Ends up being that Kane and Big Show get distracted by this, and Cena's able to get the win on Seth Rollins. This is able to make it where Dolph Ziggler, Ryback, and Rowan will all be back, I guess, as a part of the Rumble. I know that there was a Rumble match that was scheduled. It was Ryback versus Rusev. Who knows if we're going to be seeing this one or not. But, man, the Schoolboy for the win by John Cena. And we got 3 guys back on the roster, sort of drawing the end of how this was going to play out. I know everybody was knowing that Rowan, Ryback, and Ziggler were going to be apart. Now we all know that the Ziggler story about him getting heat was all bullshit. It sounded pretty stupid anyways for planning the comedy act the day of the Royal Rumble. There's no way in the world he's not going to be there. Triple H lost the shit. They basically were setting up Triple H versus Sting at WrestleMania, and basically from that, Triple H was calling Sting out. From there, Brock Lesnar came down to take advantage of the affair, running down to the ring, trying to get after Seth Rollins. Basically, Kane and Big Show both ate the F5s, and Rollins was able to escape as the show ended with Brock basically getting the shine this week. But Cena is able to save the WWE locker room. He's no longer the bum that won't help his friends. He's able to overcome the odds, beating Seth Rollins, Kane, and Big Show in a 3-on-1 affair with the help of Sting. Sting, I guess, people had said he was only going to be in WWE for 6 appearances, including Royal Rumble. I know that he was added as a VIP access guest, so I know everybody's going to be lining up to buy those tickets when they go on sale. The Stinger being a part of his first WrestleMania access. Might be a great ticket to get, hoping that he's going to appear in face paint. The times that I met him, it just was Steve Borden. It wasn't even Sting. No paint. So that's going to be one hell of a picture to grab if you can get it. But one hell of a way to end the night tonight. Raw reunion. What a fucking show. Stinger's back, baby. Yeah, come on.